Hello, everyone. Welcome to Developing Palates. I'm Aaron Loomis coming to you from the Drew Estate Studio. With me today is Jiunn, Lou, Seth, guys. I'm from the Villiger Scar Studios, John McTavish. How you guys doing?
What's going on, everyone? Mr. Red, Aaron,
Aaron, Seth, John, hello. How are
June.
Hello.
you?
Good evening. Good
June,
evening,
did you get a
gentlemen.
haircut?
Yeah, the fucking bitch gave me an army cut. Look at this
It
shit.
looks really bad, man.
I know.
It looks, it looks.
Son
You
of a
gotta put some
bitch.
stuff. You gotta put some stuff in your
God,
hair,
I
man. You
I
know.
can,
would
you can
I
work
would
better than
definitely
that.
swipe left,
Don't,
unfortunately.
don't blame you. But
Uh,
what product? You put some product in
You
there.
gotta put some product. You gotta get some
no,
volume in
no,
there.
I'm gonna squirt some hair gel at her face next time.
You use some Pantene Pro V
That's not
volumizer,
gonna. That's not
get
gonna
the
help you get. That's not gonna help you.
All right. So today we're talking about the Red Anchor Admiral. Cigars de Toro 6x52. Comes out of the Kellner Boutique Factory in the Dominican Republic. Wrapper is Ecuadorian Habano 2000. Binder is Dominican Monte Plata. Filler is San Vicente, Habano 92, and Pennsylvania Broadleaf. Blended by Hendrik Kellner Jr. Price point is $25. Cigar was
oof.
released in August of 2022. And
Bam!
we picked these cigars up from Corona Cigar Company. So if you are in Florida and near one of their locations, be sure to stop in for a cigar and libation. But if you're not, you can always go to the website or give them a call and you can order online. They will ship to you. And it's always fast shipping and things like that. So it's great. All right. With all that out of the way, June, what was your overall experience like with this cigar?
I thought it was a great cigar. I thought it had really nice nuance, balance, depth, really well blended. Just like, it's one of those cigars where, you keep reaching after notes and there's not one note that spikes over another. So really like really good harmony. I rated the first third to be very good, which seldom happens. It probably has happened to like maybe, I don't know, 4 to 5 cigars reviewed on DP for me. So I think it's that good. $25. Ugh. I don't know, man. I don't know.
All right. We can talk more of that later. Seth, what were your thoughts?
I got on a tangent there. I think you would have laughed, but you would have been also irritated because we wouldn't have been talking about the cigar. Um, Listen, I going into this knew this was a Kellner. I was thinking about June the entire time. About
It's good.
like,
Yeah.
thank God I'm not smoking this in front of him because he just would probably just be like, "Isn't this really good? Isn't this really great?" Um,
It's really good.
so I mean, but it was like, listen, it was toast, damp salted wood, soft red pepper. Um, there's leather, cream, tobacco. You could tell it was a Kellner. There was some skill in the blend. It was a quality. There was complexity. There was some transitioning. I wasn't blown away by the overall cigar. The final third went downhill a little bit. Nice medium strength and body. I was actually surprised about how good the burden
How
and
full it
draw
was?
were.
Oh,
Yeah. I didn't think it was too full. I mean, it
I
was
was surprised it was as full as it was.
there was body to it. I'll give you that. So yeah. John?
I feel like I'm kind of between the two of you. Like I actually I was impressed. I wasn't sure what I'd be getting for flavor profile, but like Jim was saying, there's a lot going on in the first third, and it's interesting when you have a lot going on flavor wise, but like it's not super intense. So like musty tobacco, a vegetal note, which I had like three different types of vegetal notes. I had sort of a basic vegetal, I had a celery, and then I had spinach with that like iron spinach flavor. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? But it was interesting. I like it caught my attention. And it wasn't unpleasant. It was just unusual. And then the retrohale was sweet wood, milk chocolate, and then the vegetal and wood kind of combined on the finish. And I was like, this is a really interesting like I'm at a restaurant where the cook's trying to impress me with flavor combinations, and I was like, this is interesting. And then the second third, I'd say was more traditional combinations, so chocolate bread, baking spices, musty wood. Pretty consistent for the profile didn't change up very much in the second third. Last third kind of took on some muted bread, so it wasn't quite as dynamic. Baking spices were still present. Wood at medium plus strength. So the wood was kind of taking over profile. A little bit of dry hay. So the last, like Seth said, the last third kind of fell off for me. And I had a perfect draw because I used a V cut. Suck it. I know that Kloss does not like the V cut, but you know what, Kloss, it works fine. It works fine. I had a perfect issue with it was perfect cut. Unfortunately, I did have to touch it up twice, and I'm not gonna lie. When I was touching it up, I was like -$5 on the first touch up, and then I touched up a second time. I'm like minus another $5 on the touch up. And I let it go pretty far before I touched up. Like it was probably offset by like almost 3/4 of an inch by the time I touched up. So way further than I think normal. Anyways, all I had to say, it was good. What about you, Aaron?
Yeah, for me, the cigar started with lightly toasted cedar, a light amount of mustiness, and a slight wood bitterness. I got a floral note that joined in fairly quickly. And then through the rest of the cigar, the components kind of moved around in intensity, and the final third saw some earth join in. The cigar had an interesting flavor profile, but the wood bitterness that was present throughout kind of put a bit of a damper on things for me. It was just kind of hanging on around there in the background the whole time, and it was just not like I couldn't like shake it and get it out of my head and tasting it, and it was just like kind of a bummer for me the whole time. So, yeah, I mean, I was in my notes. I wrote it. I hope that you guys could share a better experience with it than what I had. And it was like at least two of you thought it was pretty good. But you know, with my flavor experience and the price point, it just wouldn't be something I'd come back to. And at this price point, it's hard to want to revisit it just to see, you know, what I missed. So, yeah, it's probably just gonna be a pass for me at this point. Getting the scores, going to start at the top with Jiunn at 7.27. John gave it a 6.62. Seth gave it a 6.1, and I gave it a 5.45. So, Jiunn, how that 7.27 match up for you?
Yeah, I mean, the story of this is definitely the Habano 92 mixed with the Pennsylvania broadleaf and the San Vicente.
Yeah.
You do
No
like San
lore,
Vicente?
which worked out.
No
for you.
lore.
Yeah, so I mean, knowing Hendrik Kelner Jr. for so long, you know, this combination, I told him from the get-go, I was like, you got to put this combination together. You know, it's like Big Mac meal. You know, it's gonna do good.
All right, John, 6.62.
Yeah, it's a little low. So we had a cigar where it was 6.85, and I was a little surprised. This actually is a little low for me, and I think that just comes by way of the fact that I had a trouble with the burn. So I think flavor profile wise, this probably should be at about a 6.85, so a little closer to where Jiunn is. Would it justify the $25? Hard to say, but it was a really interesting flavor profile, and I can't recall a time where I've had those combinations. So yeah, I liked it.
All right, Seth, 6.1.
Yeah, listen. I was bummed. I was completely bummed. On a personal level. It was just shit. Do we really need to get into this?
Why?
Why? I mean,
Did you
listen,
pull up your
it's
phone and start
just
texting? You're like, I'm so disappointed.
I just know. I mean, I remember smoking it like in the final third, and I was like, damn, I don't know. Like, Jiunn, I'm not a, I don't know, Jiunn, I'm not a fanboy like you, man. At least I'm honest with myself.
No,
No, I'm
this
just
is
kidding.
great.
I thought,
Take
listen,
my
I was,
$25.
no, see, yeah, no, I'm not gonna, I don't want to say what I was gonna say, but no,
You felt like Jack slipping off in the Atlantic Ocean and just falling to the watery depths.
I just
Most of
felt
these
that,
Grease the Titanic
I just felt
references.
that there's just wasn't, they could have, I don't know. I'll
No,
give
say
it
it.
They could have
a-
done better. It could have been more engaging, more rich.
I think when you have the last name Kellner and you see what Davidoff's putting out and you see the prices you're putting out, you can go $5 cheaper and maybe not have to work as hard. I don't know. I feel like they've made better blends than this. I think they could have made a better blend than this.
I have more to say on that after Aaron goes.
Yeah, my 5.45 matches up well. You know, I thought the flavor profile was average throughout, and that wood bitterness was like kind of was like in the back, just tapping me on the back like the whole time. It's like, I'm here. Don't forget, I'm here. I'm here. You can't enjoy the cigar. I'm here. So
It tastes better, doesn't it?
that's right.
Face.
I also had some burn issues. I mean, cigar went out twice on me, so I had some relights that kind of bummed it out. So yeah, mid fives. I mean,
Damn.
mid fives I'm not going to come back to anyway, but at $25 I'm definitely not going to come back to it. So it's a bummer because I was really interested in this cigar. You know, Hendrik Kellner Jr. blended that smoking jacket that Jiunn and I really loved a few years back, and I was kind of hoping for something like, and that was a much cheaper, way cheaper cigar than this. So I was hoping at $25 we were going to see like something that was going to knock it completely out of the park, but that wasn't there. And I'll talk about the final thoughts. All right, so final thought time. Let's go for it.
So I think that first of all, and I've said this I don't know how many times now, but if you have a $25 cigar, I shouldn't have to touch it up, and I certainly shouldn't have to touch it up twice, and you definitely shouldn't have to relight. And I'll be frank, if I spent $25 on a cigar and I had to relight, I probably want my money back.
When you spend $25, I really expect the burn and draw to be very good to amazing.
Yeah.
It should be, we should have, and listen, there's a lot of companies here who produce cigars that smoke wonderfully. And if it's not going to smoke well, there's an understanding with the wrapper. You know what I mean? Like I can understand, depending on the wrapper, we are smart enough smokers that we can look at a wrapper and be like, yes. Like we can go back to the Casada. I still think that Ecuadorian Corojo, with how that wrapper is, I think one of the reasons why there were some burn issues on mine was because it's a thick wrapper. It's
thick boy.
It's like a Connecticut Havana wrapper. It's just, you have to understand that. This is an Ecuadorian Habano 2000 wrapper. Come on, man.
So like if this cigar was $18.99, I think that'd be a radically different market position. And I think, my overall take on it would be a lot less. But like when you move up to $25, I'm like, it was good. It was interesting. But would I drop $25 on it? Almost certainly not. Would I drop $18.99 on it? I might be convinced to do that. But 25 would be a bridge too far for me. And we don't score based on that for the flavor profile, but I'm just saying, if I were to go to buy it, that's going to factor in for sure.
Well, it does, I don't even think it has a flavor profile that really. I don't know. I mean, Jiunn, you can say, maybe you can. I don't think it's a flavor profile that's really attractive. There's nothing about it that's like, yes, I want to smoke this again.
I kind of had pretty much like opposite thoughts of you, Seth. When I was smoking it, I thought, man, this was what Davidoff still should be, but they took the wrong turn, and Kellner Jr. in this factory, they're picking up the slack that Davidoff has left hanging, which is disappointing because we all know Davidoff has a ton of great aged tobacco, but they seem to not I feel like they don't have the right chefs anymore,
Yeah.
So, but then again, the $25 price point, you could argue and say like, well, it's certainly maybe $5-10 cheaper than Davidoff, but at the same time, it's still really freaking expensive.
I mean, I can't help but think there's a cigar that we did another review of, and I could smoke 4 of those or one of this, and it's hard for me to say, man, that was a pretty good cigar all the way through, and I get to do that 4 times. That kind of math starts to factor in here for me because I'm kind of a cheap guy. So,
because with Davidoff, you have the followers of like, the wealthier golf guys, right? And just kind of more status kind of guys that like to smoke that brand. Whereas you pitch something like the Red Anchor, you lost all of that marketing. So, coming out with the $25 cigar is really aggressive. Just holding on to that Kellner name, in which most people that smoke Davidoff, I don't think they would understand that. They don't have that association with Kellner. So
yeah, and in this United portfolio, I mean, when you see the $25 price point, you're kind of getting close to the Adave, Byron, Bandolero stuff, but you're not quite there. So maybe you're looking for like that middle ground spot, but like 25 is not 25 is not middle ground, even though they do have some very expensive cigars in that portfolio. And with the Red Anchor name, there's no nobody knows this name from it being like the original cigar brand or whatever they're saying that this is historical aspect is, but nobody knows that name. And you're asking $25, that's kind of maybe a tough sell. So how do you get this sold? Is it just the luxury smokers that you could put whatever in their hand and they're going to spend $25 on it? So I don't know. That's my thoughts on it.
Yeah, because Seth, I mean, you have at Phil's, you get a good amount of like Davidoff guys, right? Will they? Can you pitch something like that to them?
No, they wouldn't pitch. No,
No. Hmm.
it's it'd be hard, man.
No.
It comes down to brands. I think with
Yeah.
Davidoff people have always understood, and I bet there's even, I don't know, some of these prices that, I've looked at some of this stuff. I'm like, man, maybe I should spend some more time in cigar shops just to see how people are reacting. Because it's one of these things, yeah, I look at some of these prices, I'm like, good Lord. Like, it's just,
Yeah, I'm
there's
curious
gotta
to
be
see what
fee-
our average review cigar price is compared, because from 2020 to 2021, it was a pretty big jump. It was like $3 to $4 more on average.
On
And
average,
this year is
yeah.
probably going to be quite a bit more than that, I would think. So,
I would assume so. Yeah.
we'll see
Yeah.
how it goes.
Good times.
All right, wherever you're catching this video, be sure to like and subscribe. Check out the full written review on the website, developmentpalace.com. Follow us on the social media channels, and you catch all of our review recaps on podcasts. So iTunes, Google Play, and Podbean. Thank you for tuning in. We will catch you in the next one.
All aboard.